Hey everybody, back again with another live. So I was talking to someone about meditation the other day, and you know, I feel like I was in the zone when I was explaining it, and they were asking good questions, and they thought that this would be a good topic for a video, and so I figured why not? I mean, I think most of the people that would come to my channel are already probably hopefully doing some form of meditation or something, but who knows? Let's see if I can, first of all, I guess meditation is kind of like a multi-dimensional thing. It's, I'm just going to give one perspective of, meditation, how to meditate, why to meditate, and I'm sure there's, thousands, million, infinite other reasons or ways to do it, and how to do it, why to do it. So this is just one, but she thought it was good enough to post, so I don't know. So we did a meditation, and she was asking me, like, why meditate? Um, what's the purpose, I guess? And I don't know, maybe this is different for everybody, but right, you want to reach that stillness point where you don't want to block your thoughts from coming. You want your thoughts to just kind of come and go, just allow them to come and go, and not get pulled into them. But again, it's not bad if you do. It's just you want to bring that awareness back, and um, bring the awareness back into meditation, because I mean that's kind of what the mind does all day. If you don't meditate, is it just gets pulled into thoughts here and there, and before you know it, your whole day is gone. So you might for most people, I think, I forget who said this, Sadhguru or somebody, but by the time you're 40, it's like 95% of your life is like an automated process. You've just done things so many times that you do them without thinking about it. Like how many times have you driven somewhere and you don't know how you got there? That was an automated process. Your mind got sucked into a thought or thinking about something, and before you know it, you arrived at your destination. You're like, oh, okay. You don't really give two thoughts about it. But if you were to think at the end of the day and try to kind of mentally go through all the things that you did, how far would you get? And I think that's the question. Most of us might have that one thing that happened that day. Oh, my boss yelled at me, or I got in a fight with the wife or the husband, or the kids were being a brat, or traffic is really shitty today on the way home. They can hone in on specific events, but then everything else is kind of like a blur. It's like it didn't happen. And so just bringing that awareness back to yourself is part of what it's about. That's what it's all about, is just being in the now and in the presence. And we're in the time of the mind. There's I think there was another cycle where they went through and everything was about the eyes, and people would be like, I see you. And that was that time. Now we're in the time of the mind, and everybody is overthinking things, including myself. Although I think I'm getting better at it, but it's a work in progress. So yeah. So anyways, back to the thoughts, you kind of just want to allow them to come and go without getting drawn in. When you get drawn in, you pull yourself back. And then while you're throughout your day, you just try to become more mindful about everything you do, including the mundane. Maybe you're folding laundry, and you folded laundry a million times, but this time you fold it with intention, and you enjoy folding the laundry. Maybe even you're grateful for being able to fold this laundry. maybe it used to be a chore and you'd be like, I hate the laundry. It's like the worst thing in the world. I should be doing more important things. Um, so yeah, just being more mindful throughout your day and when things are happening. I feel like things are kind of picking up in the world, speed and energy, and things are going to change really quickly. And so I've been personally just trying to be more mindful of spending time with the family, because you just never know when that could get taken away from you, or when you move on to um, the next life event, the next thing in the next stage of your life. And so just spending time with your family and really being present with them and really soaking in those moments. Um, I mean, really, it's a good practice, I think, in general, just to because anybody could die at any moment, to be doing that all the time, to soaking in all the moments, whether you're with your parents or your wife, your kids, whether you're at school, whether you're at whatever. I guess if you're at school, you maybe don't have any loved ones or anything there, but if you're hanging out with your friends, treasure those moments that you're there with them. So back to the meditation. I wanted to see if there was. I think intention was another thing that we talked about, and so let's say the kids are created a disaster in the house. They made a mess in the house, and if you don't meditate, you might just instantly kind of react and be like, you kids, get over here. I'm going to spank you. You need to clean up everything right now. Or with meditation and with space, you could say, oh, I'm starting to feel, you know, I'm getting really angry. These kids really did a number on this house. And, but how do I want to approach it with love and intention? How I treat the kids is going to impact them as they grow up. If I'm yelling at them and just and blaming them and saying, you guys made such a mess, and uh, you're worthless kids. You all you ever do is create a mess around here. You guys don't do anything. You don't ever pick up after yourself or whatever. I mean, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? I mean, if you're telling your kids that, they might start to soon accept it. Oh yeah, mom's right. We don't ever do anything around here. So, why change? That's who we are. But if you're intentional, here's a completely different approach. And I'm sure there's so many examples to this, but I'm just giving what comes to mind for me. Maybe the kids made a mess in the house, not because they wanted to make you angry. They made a mess in the house because they wanted to play and they wanted to have fun. And as a parent, maybe we need to take them out and take them to a park, let them burn off some energy. Involve them in activities. My kids are young, so I mean, there's still activities they can do, but it's not like they're can do, I don't know, gymnastics or soccer or something like that necessarily. But yeah, just that would be a more intentional way, I think, of getting them involved in activities so that they can burn up some of their energy and actually do something that they enjoy. They're not making a mess in the house. Of course, that takes up your time to pick them up, drop them off, or even watch their games, watch them practice, just as an example. And so that would be a way of being more intentional. And I don't know what intention has to do with meditation. I don't want to say that they're correlated. I would say they're both important. But I think when you give yourself the space to kind of, to zoom out and say, okay, I'm really mad at the kids because they made a mess in the house. But if you can kind of zoom out and detach from it and say, maybe how could this be better? What am I not seeing? What kind of patterns am I involved in? Are those, my patterns? Or are they something that I learned from my parents? Did my parents yell at me that way? Um, did I have a stressful day at work today, or a stressful day? Did I wake up on the wrong side of the bed? How am I feeling? Doing a check-in with yourself. And, all those things are going to benefit you, and meditation can help you with all those things. I think, just checking in with how you're feeling. Uh, yeah, I don't know if there's anything more I need to say about that, but yeah, I don't know if you guys like the video, if you like the content, um, like and subscribe, I guess. Leave a comment if you like my content, if there's anything in particular you want to hear more about, or you like the examples, you don't like something I talked about. I'm open to all feedback. And so I got my kids' photos behind me over here. They from their preschool, and then some of the pictures that they painted. So that's my little backdrop for my videos. Nothing special over here. Here it's more about the content, I guess. If I'm creating content that you guys like, and hopefully that's enough. Maybe one day I'll create more polished videos, but for now, this is what I got. Yeah, meditation. I mean, there's so many meditations out there that are free. You can go on YouTube and just listen to meditations. You can meditate for anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour. Whatever you feel is, whatever you feel you have time for, I guess. When I first got into meditation, and I was, it was like nearly 40, I think, and early on, I would have said that's not for me. Like I don't meditate. Like, what is that? It's kind of like eating healthy. I used to call it like rabbit food, eating the salads and stuff like that. But obviously times change and people change. So I got into Joe Dispenza's meditation first, and what he said just really kind of spoke to me. And really, meditation can have such an impact on your life in general, that the way he explained it to me was like, this is the most important thing. This is more important than my job. It's more important than, most things I'm doing right now. And I made it a priority, and I meditated for an hour a day for a good 3 months. It didn't stop there. I mean, the meditation kind of stopped. I ended up getting into yoga after that, which was like a traditional hatha yoga. Your eyes are closed. It's kind of like a meditation. You're doing yoga with your eyes closed, and yeah, it's kind of like a meditation, but it was different, I guess. I had this experience because at the same time that I was doing Joe Dispenza's meditation, I did some psychedelics, and my spirit was like out of my body. It was like dangling in the wind, or in the ethers. And for me, I just felt like I'm meditating every day. If that doesn't fix this, then there's more to this spirituality than meditation that everybody talks about. So then I started dabbling in yoga and other things. And now, even after years of yoga, I don't know if yoga is the end all be all either. Everybody's got their own journey and everything, but I think these masters at particular times just kind of spoke to me, and I went down that path. And yoga, I feel like I almost kind of built a prison around myself, because I felt like I had to do yoga every practice every day. And it was like 3 to 4 hours of practices every day. And then I have to work. And then after work, I'd hang out with the family. And it was just a cyclical thing of every day was like the same thing. Obviously, I don't work on the weekends, so on the weekends I would still do yoga, but then we'd take the kids and we go out somewhere and have them play at a park or something somewhere. But life kind of really got really mundane. Like the yoga wasn't working fast enough for me, and it's not supposed to. I mean, yoga kind of works on its own time, but at the time, I think Sadhguru was saying like, this is the time if you're going to do yoga. You can use these solar flares and other things as a he gave the analogy of a glider or something, and if you're going against the wind, you're going to fly up, and that's what I wanted to do as a I wanted to ascend. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that, but either way, it's just such a long process. And I think I've really, I think through no help of my own, I think the universe really wanted me to break that monotony up and start doing some other things. So then now I'm not doing yoga at all. Kind of do it intermittently, I suppose. Like there was one point I did it for like a week and then I didn't do it. But now I'm going to the gym. So it's definitely not yoga, but I feel like I'm working on my physicality and really building that up, like trying to build up my immune system, trying to anchor the light, trying to really get that energy flowing in my body, in my chakras and everything. And that's what going to the gym will do. I can hold more light the stronger the body I have. And so, yeah, I guess just everybody has their own path. And, some people do yoga for 30, 40 years and then they can ascend that way if you got 30, 40 years. And I got all the time in the world, but I mean, right now with all the kids and stuff, maybe when they're older, I can get back to yoga if that's a necessity at that time. But for right now, I feel like this is working for me. Just going to the gym, meditating every day, like 20 minutes. Actually, I missed today, so I don't do it every day, but I do it when I can. I try to be consistent with it, 20 minutes a day. What else? I think, I mean, I working on my gut, just making my gut strong. I had candida for a little while, overgrowth, I think, and I've been doing coffee enemas every day, so really purging out the toxins from my body. But just really working on my physicality and really appreciating my body, and trying to make this is my vehicle. This is all I got. If I let this go, I'm gone, like dust in the wind. So, we have to keep this nice, but I haven't always. Even though I'm doing yoga and stuff, I thought that was enough. But I mean, you got to go with the times, I guess, and just find out what works for you. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your body. Recently I've been listening to my body when I eat something, and how does it affect me? It's something I never used to do. And I think I ate so many bad things that it was just, my body's just like, well, here we go. I'm not even going to give the pain signals because he's just going to eat it anyways. But now that I'm listening, I feel the inflammation in my gut. And so I bought some protein powder from GNC, and because I've been going to the gym and wanted to make sure I get enough protein. And I've been getting enough protein, but yet that powder was really inflammatory with my gut. And so I had to try some other things. And I think this pea protein works. But I can also just eat more meat. I've been incorporating eggs into my diet as well. And so eggs and meat, and then yogurt for the probiotics. I eat this Bravo yogurt. It's got 350 strains of probiotics in there. It's pretty expensive, but I mean, it's incredible what it does. I mean, every time I eat it, I get this like cooling sensation in my gut. So I know my gut really likes it. But the healing process of the gut, really, it could take years. Maybe that's a separate topic I do on its own, because I have a pretty long story with that for my gut. But you know, if other people are going through similar things, they might find it useful. So hopefully I didn't ramble on too much there. I tried to stay on topic, but yeah. Like I said, like and subscribe if you like what I have to say. Give me some comments if you like what I had to say. If you want me to talk about something else, if you didn't like what I had to talk about, yeah, that's all I got. Oh, you guys be well. Thank you. See you later.